The next big topic we're going to cover in this class is statistics. And statistics is the study of data. And so we will begin by talking about what data is. Data is information, generally a large collection of information, generally numbers. Your names are data, everything is data. How you look, how you dress, this is, you're constantly giving information about yourself to everybody on the street just by how you hold your face, how you hold your head, and what you wear, and how you move, and such like that. But we're going to talk about numbers. Basically, data is numbers. Let's come for some rough examples. Question: how much does gas cost in New York? Could be asked by a number of different people. Maybe you're going to be driving through New York on your way to somewhere and you wanted to know whether you should buy gas in Massachusetts before you cross over the border, or whether you should buy the gas in New York. Or maybe you're going to start a business in New York and it's going to be a trucking business and you really, really need to know how much gasoline costs in New York. Well, one answer is, I paid $3.89 the last time I was in New York. Another answer, here's a list of all the places in the state of New York that sell gas and the price they charged for the 3 different grades of gas each day for the last 2 years. Now clearly this would be a huge compilation of information. But this is what happens if you want I paid $3.89. When? Was that this year? Was that last year? Where? Where did you buy it? Were you on the thruway? The prices are generally pretty high on the thruway because they've got you. You have to buy your gas there. So a thorough answer might be, here are all the prices that everyone in New York sold gas for. But you get overwhelmed with information in that sense. But this is data. Data is information. Statistics is the study of data. Statistics is how could you take a huge amount of information like that and make something reasonable about it. Try another question. How many students drop out of MCLA each year and why? We really care about students who are not doing well in this college. We don't want this to happen. We want everyone who ever steps foot in MCLA to graduate. We want you to find a major that you really like. We want you to stay. We want you to learn. We want you to have a great experience. Doesn't necessarily happen for everyone. Well, why? That's the big question. Well, what kind of data can we get? Well, we could just have the numbers. We could say there were 500 students who came in last year and 70 of them dropped out. I'm making up these numbers. I don't know what the data is, but that would be a very crude amount of data. We could say here are all of the GPAs of all the students who came in this year, and here are the GPAs of the people who ended up dropping out. Is it that students people who aren't necessarily ready for college who are dropping out? Is it financial? Is it the people who are very, very poor? Could we keep them here by offering them more money or helping them out or cutting them a deal or something? Is it maybe what courses are these students taking? To answer a question like this, which people really care very deeply about, we want information. We need data. The more we can find out about all the students coming in, and specifically for this question, the students who decide to leave, maybe they're going on to better colleges. Maybe their parents are getting sick and they're going home to take care of them. Who knows? But the people who really care about this are sitting in front of huge reams, all the information about all the students at MCLA, trying to figure out which pieces of information matter and which don't. Or a last question, what do people spend their money on? A lot of companies, a lot of banks, a lot of everybody would like to know, what do people want? How much are they willing to pay for it? What are they willing to pay more for? What could we raise the prices on and people would still keep spending money on? What should we lower the prices on? What should we pretty up? And there's a thing these days called big data, and that is people out there who are studying huge, huge amounts of data. And one of the biggest amounts of data is every single credit card payment you've ever made is still remembered by the credit card company. Things that people bought 70 years ago, they have not thrown away that information. They have a very clear picture of me. They know what I buy at the grocery store. They have the receipts. They know which stores I go to. They know, and And this is why if someone in Italy suddenly buys a bottle of perfume with my credit card number, they call me up immediately and they say, "What were you doing in Italy?" And I say, "I wasn't in Italy." And they say, "Aha, someone stole your credit card." They know me very well. But they also realize that they have so much information and they've barely scratched the surface of it. And so there's seriously good paying jobs out there for people who are able to look at these huge masses of data and find things out. One concept I want you to understand is a population. A population is something being studied. In the how much does gas cost in New York situation, we are studying the gas stations of the state of New York. With the MCLA students, we're studying the MCLA students. With the what are people buying? The population would be consumers in America. That would be, babies don't count and dogs don't count. Although, I don't know, dogs, you can sell dog food to people. I mean, you're really selling it to the people. But anyway, the population. A population is the thing that you're studying. And there's two different kinds. There's you either have full data. I don't technically know what the full proper name is. You either have full data or you have a sample. To say, here is the price that every single gas station charged for an entire year, every single day, that's full data. That is all the information. You want to know what people are charging for gasoline in New York? Here's a list. And who knows, maybe the state of New York forces these people forces every gas station to report it every day, and that number is all on a chart somewhere. A sample is when you pick some of the population to study. That is, you randomly pick 20 of the gas stations in New York. I don't know where you get a list of all the phone numbers. You call them up, you ask them, how much are you charging for gas? The key to everything in statistics really is randomness. That is, everything in the population has an equal chance of being picked. So if you're just driving down the street from your house, you're not randomly picking the gas stations in Massachusetts. You are picking the gas stations along the road that you drive all the time. That is not random at all. Picking out phone numbers, that would be random. If you had a list of all the phone numbers and you were to rip them all out into little pieces of paper and dump them in a hat and randomly pull out 20 of them, then you go. Every gas station has an equal chance of being picked. If you wanted to study how students at MCLA felt, you could go through all of the data of all the students. That would be a little bit brutal, but that would be sort of a full data situation. Or you could pick out of a hat the names of 30 students and survey them. Sit them down, talk to them, ask them what they like, ask them what they feel like. That might, you're not getting all the information about everyone, but you're getting a sample. And if you're truly random, as we will talk about later, you will get a decent picture of a whole population if you are random. Now, just going and picking the students who happen to be at the quad, you get the students who are in the quad. You're not necessarily getting all the students randomly. And that is about it for data. I want you to know what a population is. It's the thing being studied. I want you to know that randomness is the key to everything. And randomness means everything in the population is equally likely to be picked. And I want you to know that a sample is when you pick some of a population to study. You pick some of the gas stations, you look at some of the people in a store, some of the consumers, some of the whatever, as opposed to full data where you have all of the information and you can look at it. Anyway, statistics is the study of data. Statistics is the study of either a full data set or a sample. And how can you make sense of that many numbers?